K-Rock, Monolithic Rock Reviews, Marmy Rock Show. I am here with the boys in Imbued. They're a band we've been following, I guess, since the close to when they started being a band. Their album, Stand, Fight, Love. Their CD release show is tonight, and we are here in Baltimore at their show. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Hello.
So you're a relatively new band, and we've been watching you for a while, but for folks new to you, introduce yourselves and kind of give a brief bio of how the band came together.
Well, I'm Andrew.
Brian.
Mike.
Eric. Ryan.
How'd you find each other? Because it's Lancaster meets Baltimore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. We got two brothers in the band.
Yeah, I think what happened was I was in a band and started losing momentum, and my brother also lost momentum in their band, and we kind of decided to join forces. So, ever since then, I met Ryan through a party, and we talked shop music for a while, and we got along pretty quickly, and then that kind of formed. Andrew came from Mike's old band, and then Eric, we found him through another sort of studio party, mutual friend. So
Actually, I met him first at the studio that we record at. So at Studio 7178. So at a party there, I met Eric. So
That's actually my next question. Tell me a little bit about the recording of the album, who did your production, where it was done, and all those particulars.
Mike.
Yeah.
Everything Mike.
I did all the production. We have a studio with some partners, so we were fortunate to actually be able to take the time and do things the way we want to do things. So nice thing is we didn't have to rush things, and like I said, take the time to do it right. And then I did all the mixing. Andrew helped out with some producing and mixing, and we did all the mixing, mastering ourselves. So we kind of
Scott and Tom helped as well.
We had some friends help with some engineering.
Yep.
So it's good. We're glad that we're able to do things the way we can do them.
So as far as the songwriting, because you kind of came together from different places, did the songwriting start totally from scratch, or did people bring different elements of some things you've had hanging around for a while? Or
it was a mixture of things. Mostly it was all brand new. Some of it was things that Brian had that he was writing. Some of it things where Mike was writing or that I was writing, or like it just came together. Like some of it was ideas, but then Ryan came in and added his magic to it with his skills on drums, and then at the end is when Eric came in. So then we were lucky to have him come in and do some accent parts on things, but mostly it was a group effort as far as like song structure and things like that.
Yeah, everybody contributes, and it's not just a one-man show. Everybody brings their own ideas and dynamics to the band, so we work very well together.
I was thinking about that when you form a new band and you bring people together. So for you guys, what was the first meeting like? What do you guys do as a brand new band? Do you play a cover tune? Do you send each other a track? How does that go?
I'll take that. So, as Brian had already said, we met through a party where actually all this kind of came together because I'd heard him going through Fight, the lyrics for Fight, and we needed to put music to it, something he wanted to do. Eventually, his brother came into the picture after they discussed it, and he jumped on board. Well, Brian and I drove up to Pennsylvania to the studio, and Mike happened to be there. Haven't heard me. I haven't heard him. He kind of came up with a guitar part for Fight already, and I took a seat behind the kit and wanted to kind of give an idea of where my head was at. So I listened to him one run through. I was like, okay, let's do it again, and I'm going to play this time. And apparently, before I got the chance to even start playing, Mike had brought to Brian's attention that, hey, he lives pretty far away. We should probably find one that's local to, PA area, make it easier. So I played one through, and Mike said I wasn't going anywhere, that I was going to stay with the band. Apparently I was good enough, so I was pretty happy. And at the end of the day, it's all about dedication to the music, and by coming together through that, since then, Brian and I drive from Baltimore area all the way into York area, PA, every weekend because of the what we feel for this, and that was the big thing that really kicked it all off. So
yeah, it was one of those things where I just when I met Ryan, I felt like he was confident in his drum ability and the way he kind of talked, and it was crazy, like kind of seeing Ryan the first time, not knowing if this guy was any good, but for some reason I had a good feeling about him. So I think it worked out well. And when Mike looked at me after he played, he's like, okay, we could roll with this.
We can make some things work.
We can make some. So
So I was going through the album today, listening to it, and the album's called Stand, Fight, Love. And as I was listening to it, you could actually almost put each song into one of those categories. You could say this one stands, this one's fight, this one's love. Can you talk about that? Was that intentional, or did that just?
I think the EP title came later. You know, it was just one of those things. By listening to the tracks, we just felt it was a good representation of what we did, and yeah.
Oh, it's okay. No, I do all the graphics and stuff. So I was just like, I was screwing around with things, and that was what I was inspired to make the album art. And then I showed these guys, and they were just like, well, yeah.
So tell me about that album art, because I wanted to know, is it an actual city in the background of
It's
that?
Baltimore
It is
City.
Baltimore. So here's what I wanted to ask
And
you.
it's a Phoenix too.
So a lot of Baltimore bands I've interviewed have either a skyline or something specific to Baltimore. I don't see that in a lot of cities. Like, you'll interview bands from all over the world. It just coincidence? Or do you know why so many bands do that in the city?
The reason I did it was I just kind of I was so refreshed when I came to Baltimore, like with the music scene, the receptiveness, how much people support each other, the energy. It was great. So I just kind of felt like it was like, you hear these not so positive things about the town, but then there's like this phoenix of rebirth. It's like this awesome thing coming out of this town, and that's why I was inspired to use the phoenix. That's why I was inspired to use the city line, because it's true. It's like a rebirth of the town. It's a different side of it that doesn't necessarily get national publicity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is unfortunate.
So going through the song, there's this interesting little 51-second tune called Disturbance that was kind of sandwiched in between two songs. Was it meant to tie two songs together, or is it just something you guys liked?
Originally, it was part of the following song, and we just wanted to cut it down. So, if you want to listen to the song itself, because it would add an extra minute or so, which wouldn't really be most radio friendly.
Yeah.
So we figured, let's cut it, make it its own track. That way, if you don't want to listen to that, you can listen to the regular song or however you want to listen to it. So
I just named it that because the song "Take Me Over" is kind of about a struggle in a relationship, that struggle that you have, like, should I stay or should I go type thing. And that kind of like that feeling that you get of that dun 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 type thing going on. It's heavy, it's gritty, it's in your face. So that's what I was kind of thinking. It's like disturbance, like that's the disturbance that's happening, and then you talk about, the should I stay or should I go type thing.
So, as you guys, we've been watching you play live for a while, and I've kind of wondered this: were your songs performed live a long time first before they were recorded, or were they recorded and then you started performing live? Which way did that work?
So, we a lot of times we'll work on ideas, send ideas back and forth, and we'll work on them as a band. But for the most part, I think it was really, in the studio, we really took the time to really develop the songs and write the songs, then learn the songs afterwards. So it was more of okay, let's write it, now let's learn to play it, and now let's perform it. So it was, I know a lot of bands kind of do it the other way around, where you spend the time playing and performing and then go and record. We kind of did things the other way around, so we could actually really take the time to nitpick and really dive into each individual song, and kind of take it to its own place. So
see some of the other bands making their way into the venue now. Talk about tonight's show, some of the other bands, and how they came to be a part of tonight's release.
Yeah, it was, we wanted to plan it, far enough ahead where, people knew about it, enough time to, because, it's summertime, people are going on vacation, that sort of thing. But, we were able to pick up our lineup, and we actually are bringing a band from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania down called Manshara. I think Mike and the lead singer of Aaron, kind of know each other a little bit more, but they just have a very strong presence with them as far as their live performance and the production and their music.
And we really like their sound too.
Yeah.
So I think we wanted to kind of put a show together of a bunch of like powerhouse type bands. Like, every band is an awesome band. It's absolutely worth checking out. So we're excited to play with the other bands. They're all great. We kind of got to handpick who we wanted to, and it all fell into place. So it's awesome, because I think it's going to be a huge night.
Yeah,
So.
Stone Horses. I mean, they're just have a song on Octane that went through test drive.
We just saw that. We
was
just
pretty
saw
awesome.
that today. Yeah.
And good for them. It's their second show, but they have quite a bit of following already. And then We Love the Underground. I mean, a lot of people respect those guys, and they have some great energy on stage as well. So
You guys, Now you guys have like splashed onto this scene really big. Are you getting any attention outside the region already? Because you got great tunes.
We did play a Pennsylvania show about a month or so ago, and that was our first show, and we actually did really, really well. Response was really great for us, so we are looking to dive into other markets, since we're Baltimore based, per se, so now it's let's branch out a bit and let's start breaking into some new markets. So we do have some
ambiance.
Yeah. So we do have another show scheduled in August in Harrisburg, which we're excited to because that's a town we haven't played as a band yet. So it'll be good.
So I'm going to ask people where they can find your music and where to look you up. And then I got one little new feature we're going to pilot here with you guys specific for Baltimore bands. So
Right.
tell people where you want to go to find your music and all that good stuff first.
You can pretty much find it every major digital media: iTunes, Google Play, Amazon.
Come to a show.
Yeah.
Come to a show and buy a CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can find a lot more information on us with imbuedmusic.com. Facebook's a strong one, but anywhere there's music, we're pretty much there too. So.
Okay, so as we're doing Baltimore bands, we've done a lot of them, and we decided to do a new feature called Kevin Hawk Asked the Band an Awkward Question. So we got Kevin's question tonight, and he wanted us to ask which band member is on the way out of this band already. That's Kevin Hawk, not me, by the way. Lived right up to it. Look, it's an awkward question.
I don't know. We might have to fire Kevin.
Eric's backing up right now, so I guess he's gone already.
It's Kevin. Kevin's gone.
Kevin's gone.
Kevin's gone.
You can send Kevin a direct message via this interview if you'd like, since that was up to him.
We want to thank Kevin for all the hard work he does
Yeah.
for us and supporting not only us but all the other Maryland bands and all the other bands. He's one of the best promoters that I've ever worked with, and he really's got his stuff together. And if you're in a new band and you're looking for a promoter to work with, Kevin is the guy.
Yeah.
It's true.
Hands down.
I've never seen a guy work harder.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Like, honestly. It's great.
Well, that's our new feature, Kevin Hawk's Awkward Question. I think it lived up to the billing, too, for that one. So
There was no video on this.
the band's Imbued. The album is Stand, Fight, Love. Tonight's the CD release show in Baltimore. We've been a big fan of you guys right from the first time we saw you. So have a great time tonight.
We really appreciate it.